a spur of the moment jelly roll quilt. I finally have a free moment to sit down and play with some jelly rolls that Tiny Spool sent me. They have the most gorgeous jelly rolls. Like, look how cute these are. They're selling them on Amazon only. I'm gonna be using this one. It's called Cottage Core. These are gorgeous colors. Look at these. So let me show you how to do this really cute pattern. You don't need any kind of serious math to do this. This is very beginner friendly. So first thing, divide all of your strips into a light, a medium, and a dark. Then you sew them all together and press them like this. So you have a dark, medium, and light. And then use your ruler, and however wide they are, cut those into squares. So if this is 6.5, then you're gonna cut 6.5 by 6.5 squares. Out of each row, you should be able to get 6 of these squares, and then you will have a little bit left over, but don't toss these. You can keep these for another scrappy project. Those are valuable fabrics. Keep those somewhere else. Now for your individual squares like this, you're gonna have to cut them, but you wanna keep them all the same. So I'm keeping all of my darks up top and all of my lights down at the bottom. And then half of your squares you're going to cut off to the right, and the other half you're going to cut off to the left. So like this, half of them are cut off to the right and half of them are cut off to the left. Just make sure that you're cutting them all the same way, where you have the dark at the top and the light at the bottom, or you can do it reverse where you have all of the light at the top and all of the dark at the bottom. And next we're going to mix them up. So we're gonna take this side of one and we're gonna mix it with this side of the other. That way we have a dark with a light and a light with a dark. And then we're gonna do the same over here. So we're gonna turn this around and we're gonna have a dark with a light and a dark with a light. We want it all to look scrappy, so just choose them at random and sew them together. Remember that anything cut on an angle is on the bias. It means it's going to be really stretchy. So make sure that you match all of your seams here and pin them in place, and be careful not to stretch as you're sewing. Now, of course, once you press them open, they're going to be a little bit wonky. Like I said, this is on the bias. So you're going to want to square them up to 6 inches. Just make sure that you put your 45-degree line along a 45-degree line in your ruler. I would also recommend trying to make sure that all of your seams are hitting right about this same point. And that way, when you go to line up all of your different blocks, everything's gonna hit about the same point and you can match your seams up that way. Then you're just gonna start sewing your blocks together. So try and match up your seams as you go. And then once you have 2 of them put together, then you'll lay them right sides together. And again, just start trying to match up your seams as you go. Then you'll have your whole block and you need to trim that up to 11.5 by 11.5. You're gonna need a total of 16 of these blocks. We're gonna be doing a 4x4 baby quilt. So I sewed 2 together to make a pair, and then I sewed that pair together with another pair. And then I ended up with a row of 4, and then I sewed 2 rows together to make 4x4. And then you end up with an entire baby quilt. So there it is. I did end up with a couple of extra blocks, and I thought I might put that together into like a little baby pillow to match the baby quilt.